Featured websites for details.
Now on ITV, the very latest news from where you are.
Good evening. A Sandwell Council worker has been named as one of the Britons killed in yesterday's terrorist attack in Tunisia. It's believed Adrian Evans was on a holiday in the resort of Sousse with relatives. A council source described the news as horrendous and said their thoughts are with his family and friends. Meanwhile, the family of a woman from the Midlands who's still missing after the terrorist attack have been told she and her partner are now on a high-risk list. Sue Davey, who's from Tamworth, was on holiday with Scott Chalkley when the gunman struck, and no one has heard from them since. Andy Bevan reports.
For more than 24 hours since an IS gunman killed at least 39 holidaymakers and wounded many others, Sue Davies' family have gathered around the TV, desperate for news of her condition or whereabouts. She was on holiday with her partner Scott Chalkley, and they were staying at the Imperial Mahaba, the hotel adjacent to where the massacre took place. Sue's family called her mobile phone. It was eventually answered by a member of the hotel staff who told them her bags had been brought in off the beach, but neither Sue nor Scott could be located.
It's been horrific, hasn't it? Well, it's been constantly waiting for that phone call. Like, obviously we've got one main phone call and my Aunt Mandy's sitting there and like waiting for it to ring. It's just been terrible. But
you think it's never going to happen to you?
No.
And when we were talking to people, we'd been sitting outside and we turned around and said, this isn't happening. You read about things like this and you move on to the next page of a newspaper.
As those travellers who decided to cut short their holidays and return to the UK arrived back at airports including East Midlands this morning, Sue Davies' son, who lives in America, began posting appeals on social media, some of which have brought help from locals back in Tunisia.
There's a lot of good people in Tunisia that have been going around a lot of the hospitals trying to find my mum. So they've been going in, they've been to various hotels in case she's been took to a different hotel. There's one guy, he's trying to make friends with different contacts just to try and get any sort of information.
Over in Derby, Scott Chalkley's son has also been flooding social media to try to locate the couple, but he says as more time goes by, his hopes are fading.
The gut feeling is to expect the worst, unfortunately. I know that sounds crazy, but I just feel that if they are in somewhere, they could have got to some sort of phone or someone would have seen them. And given that, it's been 24 hours now, we haven't had any sort of sighting or anything at all. It is worrying.
Sue's family think this may be her, an image from the aftermath of the attack filmed at a local hospital, which would suggest she could still be alive.
I think that woman on that stretcher is my mum. Like, I do, because you can always tell who your mum is. And I think it is my mum that is. But I just don't know where she is. I just hope that she's with a partner.
More holidaymakers are due to return to the UK from Tunisia overnight. But for these families, the question of whether their loved ones will eventually come home remains unanswered. Andy Bevan, ITV News.
A student who suffered life-changing injuries in the Alton Towers roller coaster crash has had her right leg amputated below the knee. The step to remove Vicky Bolcher's leg was taken after 7 operations. She's the second victim of the Smiler roller coaster crash to lose a limb. Places across the Midlands have been marking Armed Forces Day today. A service and parade was held in Birmingham outside the city's library this afternoon, while in Hinckley in Leicestershire, regiments and sections from the different armed forces took part in another parade, along with members of Hinckley's local cadet forces. People from the local area joined in the service and lined the streets to applaud those involved.
We need them, not just to remind ourselves, but to remind the rest of us. I lost a couple of uncles in the First World War, and I lost my cousin in the Second World War. I don't want to forget. To forget is a sacrilege. Let us remember.
Yes.
And now it's time for a look at the weather forecast. Here's Helen Plint.
Hello again. No shortage of sunshine today. Certainly the better better day of the weekend. A fair amount of patchy rain tracking in for tomorrow. But of course, the talking points of the moment, next week's heatwave, sizzling temperatures to come, but they hover around the mid-teens overnight tonight. Thickening cloud from the west brings with it some patchy outbreaks of rain in the early hours onwards, tracking off towards the east through tomorrow morning. So they're pretty hit and miss, but they will come and go for almost all of us. One or two heavier pulses in there as well. But by the afternoon, an improving picture. So some lovely sunshine to enjoy once again for those further west. It does mean temperatures will nudge up to 19, 20, a touch cooler than today, but certainly very decent for the time of year. But from there on in, as I say, things really hotting up towards the midweek period. You can see by Wednesday reaching 30 degrees and plenty of sunshine as well.
How are you today?
Lloyd's Pharmacy, proud sponsors of the Pollen Count.
So a brief respite from the high pollen levels of late tomorrow, low to moderate, but reaching very high for Monday. And as we head into that warm, sunny period on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, they'll stay high to very high. Bye for now.
And that's it from us. So we'll be back tomorrow evening, but in the meantime, you can get all the latest from across the region, all the latest news, travel and weather on our website. That's at itv.com/central. There you can find links to our Facebook and Twitter sites where you can have your say about the stories that we're covering. Have a great evening and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.